All right, welcome to Smokey Approved Korea. I'm your boy Journalist, and on this one, we are here to check out Celeste BTS Hardships. You guys have been asking me to check this one out for a minute. I'm finally getting to it, so thank you guys very much for waiting. If you could please hit that like, subscribe. Patreon is in the description section if you would like to support the channel directly or would like earlier exclusive access to anything I am working on. And yeah, that said, let's get into this one and see what Celeste got for us today. Big Celeste.
This video was not made in order to relive the sadness or to hold grudges against others. This video was made to remind us that
I'll just tell you guys all now, I'm far too vindictive. That's why I'm still talking about old boy that was talking about makeup to RM and that. I be holding grudges. Like, yo, I may move past it, but I didn't forget, and I will not forget, because hey, you might try and move like that again.
BTS didn't rise to success without facing hurdles, and these events have created a stronger bond between BTS and ARMY. June 13, 2013. BTS were only able to debut because the scheduled performers cancelled. BTS was a filler. Even after debuting, they couldn't get much airtime. Their performances were either shortened, cut from broadcasts, or not uploaded for online consumption due to their company's lack of clout at that time.
저 당시에는 우리가 막 방송을 마음대로 못 깔 때예요. 방송을 막 사람 다 차 있으면 우리 못 나오고 그럴 때도 있었어.
저 때 한밤에 이게 나가게 된 게 되게 약간 우리가 막 그랬었어. 막 그때 그랬어요.
되게 중요한 거고
신기한 거고 되게 약간 원래 그렇게 따로 인터뷰 잘 안 해주시는데 막 그때 그런 기억이 나요.
저희를 구원해 주신 거죠?
From sleeping in one bedroom to using their own staff as extras.
제 매니저가 보이나?
To recording own staff as extras.
제 매니저가 보이나?
To recording an album in a garage.
Hey, that's that real thuggish, ruggish bone right there. Shout out to them, man. You gotta. Sometimes I feel like a lot of artists, they come into recording in super nice studios so early in their musical careers that they get jaded to like understanding some of us recorded in like a porta potty, cuz like, not saying like an actual porta potty, but just like in some of the worst conditions. To grow from that to like, I'm literally sitting in a recording studio right now. Like, this is where we record our music for Culture Clan and everything. So like, I've been in $1 Million studios. I've recorded songs on like literally the thing that just controls the music and like channels it all into one like sex or area. Like that thing, that one piece of equipment cost $1 million. I've recorded songs on pieces of equipment that are just astronomically expensive, to also recording in like a shoebox. And sometimes not only do I miss recording in the shoeboxes, but some of those records recorded in shoeboxes, like they just have that special feeling. Like, and then I feel like a lot of people don't really get that experience. So it's nice to see like, yo, they was out here grinding, getting it out the trenches.
These were just a few things BTS experienced early on in their careers due to their company's limited budget.
지드래곤 선배님이 막 말 걸어주신 거 기억나요? 옷에 쓰여 있는 거 무슨 뭐냐고. 돈 없어가지고 16,000원짜리 후배티 프린팅 해가지고 뭔지 몰라가지고 말을 못해 되겠어. 아무튼.
Because some of the members came from an underground rap background, but ultimately chose the path of becoming idols, they were often disrespected.
사실 남준이가 언더에서 활동을 했다고 이제 그런 사람들이 많아요. 아이돌로 올라가서 나는 언더그라운드 활동을 했던 사람이다 하고 언플이라고 흔히 하잖아요. 그러면은 이제 언더 매니아, 힙합 매니아라고 하는 사람들은 그런 거를 당연히 안 좋게 보죠.
아, 쟤네 음악도 안 하고 그냥 회사에서 시키는데도 노래 받아서 춤이나 추는 것들이 무슨 가수냐, 니네가 무슨 아티스트냐, 저런 애를 더 이상 나오면 안 된다.
A rapper told RM and Suga that they were on the right path, but strayed away and were no longer considered real rap hip-hop artists, deeming them girls for wearing makeup.
방탄소년단에 대해서 사실 뭐 아이돌을 부릅니다. 네, 맞습니다. 힙합이 아니다. 방탄소년단이 무대에 올라갔을 때 뭐 이제 분장을 한다는 거, 어떤 메이크업을 하는 거, 이제 어떤 힙합과 충돌되는 부분이 있을 것 같은데.
분장 그런 게 아니라 여자.
What? Shut the front door.
BTS were being told by several people
Smack
they
that
would
man.
never make it because they came from a small agency. Big Hit Entertainment was at one point near bankruptcy and didn't have the financial power to promote and push BTS the way other companies could with their own groups. In 2014, Suga shared his story about battling depression since pre-debut days. Suga continues to discuss and bring awareness to mental health through his work. Until now, BTS has continuously been transparent about their darkest thoughts and feelings, not just through their music, but also their very public personas. February 2014. BTS were accused of copying the schoolboy concept for Boy in Love, which came out shortly after another group released their music video. Even though the concept is a popular choice amongst
I was about to say, that is a universal concept. I'm a little nigga. I went to school at one time. I'm gonna talk about it. No, you can't have ownership over that. I'd like be telling a female girl group, like, oh yeah, that like female like schoolgirl outfit thing. Like, don't do that. Somebody else has done it before. Like, and like this is my interpretation of it.
Young boy bands. April 2014. During a variety show, the host confronted them about this plagiarism accusation.
Yo, what is this? Like, did she do this? Or like, did Celeste bleep out these people's name, or did the TV show bleep out these people's name? Because I'm not getting this disregarding nature of how I'm watching some of these videos. Because Bora City, she just will not speak about Blackpink, and then whoever this is, like, they're getting bleeped. I'm like, why are we removing people's names? I feel like I'm missing information that I personally would like to know, because I don't know who they're accused of plagiarizing now because you're bleeping it. And I feel like that's not only a disservice to the information that we're trying to get, because it's not the information in whole and allowing me to form my own opinion with all the information. It's like a directed, like, they didn't do this thing, so I'm not going to give you their name so you don't kind of feel like there's an overlap later. You're trying to inform my opinion with the way that you are redacting information. Like, that's not how I like to receive information. I'd like to get it all myself, and then I'll make my own decision afterwards. That's why I'm like, this is not fair. I want to know it all.
원망했나요? 사실 저희가 말씀드린
얘기 천천히
저희가 이번 사랑 이야기 학교 3부작의 마지막이었어요. 그래가지고 나 언제 한번 교복을 입겠다라고 생각을 했는데 그게 되게 유명하게 시기가 겹쳐가지고
Throughout their careers, they've been constantly
그게 되게 유명하게 시기가 겹쳐가지고
They're like, why am I want to know who's at the top. Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so if there's like 13 people in that picture, is that 17? But isn't 17 an older group? I don't even know.
Throughout their careers, they've been constantly criticized for plagiarism, often for outfits, props, concepts, and hair colors that are ordinary not just in K-pop, but the expansive world of visual arts.
Yeah, if I was a fucking Asian man and I was working in K-pop, do you not know how many different colored hairstyles I would have? Like, it'd be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous the amount of times I would have my hair colored and changed or do something like wild. Like, this is just standard.
November 2014. Hashtag kick out J-Hope BTS trended on Twitter, calling J-Hope ugly and untalented. The trend became popular enough.
Facts. Yeah, tell them niggas, Tony. Don't talk about my nigga like that. Leave J-Hope alone. Leave J-Hope alone.
Their friend and supervisor from their reality show American Hustle Life, Tony Jones, tweeted out saying, "Every member is needed and talented." Jin stepped in by telling ARMYs to cheer up and that all of them were working hard.
Did this motherfucker spell words with his body, but like Korean words with his body? What the hell? Shout out to that man. That seems very hard. Or I don't know what the hell he's doing in these pictures. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's supposed to be Jay. Okay.
By telling ARMYs to cheer up and that all of them were working hard. ARMYs got together and trended hashtag J-Hope you're perfect to comfort him. May 2015. BTS finally won their first music show with their song I Need You, 2 years after their debut, but were accused of sacheki. This is when companies buy back albums to boost external sales records.
That's just called traditional American record label standard practice up until, when 50 Cent and Kanye came out with their albums. Was that 2011, 2012, where they did that like competition? That's like the last time I seen a record label being like, yeah, we're going to buy those. But the other time that it's actually happened, but it was a major finesse. This is why I have a lot of respect for Jay-Z. He took this same exact practice, but did it in a more financially lucrative and we'll say less sleazy way. When he came out with Magna Carta Holy Grail, he sold 1 million copies of that album to Samsung. And then Samsung was able to then promotionally give away 1 million copies. So technically, first week, I do 1 million. So now I've still got a platinum album, the prestige of being like an older rapper and still being able to do 1 million a week. And then I was Jay-Z's like 8th or 9th #1 platinum selling album. So I'm like, oh, like that was a great finesse. That was a great finesse. That's high level business acumen is how I would say, because you're really finessing the game doing it that way. But now, like, I don't think record labels do that. I feel like they're just buying streams because it's a lot cheaper too. Okay, I could spend $10K for streams versus I'll have to spend at least $50K if I'm buying physicals.
But this was when their company was barely surviving financially, making the claims groundless. May 2015. V was accused of mocking another idol group after they won a music show and were accepting the trophy. People began to send him death threats. However, he wasn't mocking them at all. V was known to be a fan of this group and was singing their song out of excitement. He apologized on Twitter for the misunderstanding and provided screenshots showing that he would always listen to this song before bed.
See, this is an openness I don't feel like we should have had to have done. Because, like, nah, son. I don't care what you folks think, but I guess that's also where they win at, is my let them think what they think mentality has hurt me personally in some of my personal relationships in life, because I'm just like, what I think is far more important than what the outward eyes of anybody would have to say. But then sometimes that type of thinking will be reductive, because there are certain situations where I may feel that way, but to show a person I care about them, I may need to do something that is outside what I would think and speak up in certain times. So the people that I deal with sometimes might feel like they're more protected, or that I care about them, because I may not personally care if everybody in the world hates me, but if I'm dealing with a person and the world is giving them some hard times too, and I'm just like, well, don't think about it. It doesn't really matter. Well, not everybody is me. You can't just decide to not think about it like I can, because if everybody could, we wouldn't have any problems. People wouldn't be depressed and stuff like that. So this is where I see that, like, V being willing to like show not only screenshots but take a moment to write a message and be like, it's XYZ, it's not what you guys think. That's very helpful for the grand scheme of things. And I'm just like, oh, but you don't have to do that. But again, they're at where they're at now, and this for sure played a part in helping people understand them more, because he was willing to be open with the situation and actual personal information.
July 2015. BTS abruptly halted their concert, The Red Bullet, in New York due to death threats towards RM. All related fan activities were...
Who's sending death threats to BTS? Get a life. Do something with yourself. The hell? Who's sending death threats to any musical artist? Unless you're like a puritanical Christian or anybody that's kind of like in that whole like overzealous state, just not people that are religious, just those crazy people that aren't even religious that are just like, oh, this person is a bad person, and they do that. Like, not saying those people should do it, but like those are the people I would look at as doing it. Why are we sending death threats to a Korean group that is just trying to make their way into America? This makes no sense to me. Like, why are we sending death threats at all? Like, what the hell? We live in modern times. I don't have time for a death threat, bro. Like, everybody got to pay bills. Rent is coming. Like, the first is coming. It's something my dad used to say all the time. The first is coming. I don't have time for death threats. I got to make my life move and shake, baby. What are we doing?
Also subsequently canceled. Attendees of the show were forced to leave the venue, where there was a strong presence of security and police at the scene.
Sorry,
RM also received another death threat for another upcoming show in Mexico later that month. July 2000.
See, this is where I'm like, the hip hop overlap I would like to have happened in these situations. For them boys to be so hip hop, like, fuck it. We're still showing up. Because if BTS was like, I don't know if you guys, well, I guess because now more of my audience is in America, so you guys probably do know who King Von is, or like Lil Durk. These people get death threats all the time. They live a life where somebody's going to do a thing. BTS does not live a life where somebody's going to do a thing. You know why I know nobody's going to do a thing? Because those purple ribbon people are going to be there possibly. Real Army is going to be there possibly. Like, the opportunity to do something to these people is extremely low. May the threat have been real, meaning they truly received one. Sure, I'm not doubting that part. But the part of somebody actually making physical, like, manifested effort towards the thing, like, I don't see that happening, like, at all. Knock on wood. I don't want it to ever happen to anybody or BTS, just more so. There's people really living a lifestyle where they get a death threat, they really shouldn't do the show. BTS gets a death threat, like, we've got security. The way our thing is set up, like, I'm not worried about my man. Like, you're some dickhead on Twitter. I'm about to do this show.
2016, people began to debate over alleged misogynistic lyrics and tweets from BTS. This led to the members and the company reflecting back on their actions. BTS's agency, Big Hit Entertainment, responded with an apology and a promise to do better. Consequently, the band grew from this lesson.
See, this is, again, I want a comprehensive provision or comprehensive providing of information. What did they say? Let's not just glaze over these things because we're discussing the hardships. But again, I want all the context of every situation provided to me. So, like, this video was like an hour and 45 minutes because we're going over each thing in granular detail. I would be so happy because that's how my brain works. Because now I'm just like, who are these groups before that were still plagiarized? I don't know. I just know we had plagiarism accusations, but we weren't plagiarizing. Perfectly fine. What did these boys say that was considered to be misogynistic or uncouth to say in the time that they got in trouble for it? I still don't know. I would like to know, because what if I read the lyric, I'm like, that's not misogynistic. You just misunderstood what they were trying to say in the song. And we live in a quick reactionary culture where people get canceled for things where it's like, no, your misinterpretation is not going to become the overall narrative of what I've said now just because you've misunderstood what I've said. That's your fault. Your misunderstanding can be explained by you gaining the proper understanding of what I was trying to say. Otherwise, I'm not canceling my man. Like, what are we doing here? Like, so many people get canceled early off of stuff that is just somebody else's misunderstanding, and they've been able to fan the flames. And I'm just like, that's not okay. I would like to have all the information.
And have since released feminist overtures such as 21st Century Girl, and in 2019 responded to their 2014 single Boy in Love with Boy with Love, a collaboration with Halsey.
See, because my lack of context, I don't understand how these songs changed or turned the tide. Like boy in love, boy with love. What was wrong with Boy in Love? I don't get that. Boy with love. Like, I got a bird now, that's okay. Or like with love to give, like, what is this with love situation? What's the in love? Am I in love with another person? My life, my future thoughts, like, so much missing.
RM has said that since the incident, he pays closer attention to the lyrics he writes, reading newspapers and books to study the social phenomena. After he finishes writing lyrics, he consults experts of women's studies to objectively examine the lyrics.
I have a high respect for the process that RM has chosen to do, but it is something that I think is probably one of the worst things that an artist could do when it comes to their music. And the reason being is, we like the music we are given. The biggest issue I have ever found in the music industry, especially when it comes to the way that songs get created, is the crowdsourcing element of, is it good? What should it be? Versus like the Stevie Wonder album I talk about all the time, Songs in the Key of Life. People paid for that for a year in advance before even hearing a single. That's exactly how music should be done. What I mean by this is when I give you this song, it's what I wanted it to be. It's not influenced by anybody outside of the circle of creators that help create this song. When I begin to start crowdsourcing from people that are not artists, that are not the artists themselves on the song, what am I doing here? At least to me, I don't feel like that is the truest form of how the art should be done. Now, this is just an opinion, but I feel like I want to know what you had to say unfiltered. I want to know exactly what the music was supposed to sound like. So when you start crowdsourcing or checking for clarifications, I'm just like, why? That's no longer the pureness of the thought that you had initially. You're now trying to tailor it for its consumption. And I'm like, that's not how I think good music should be done. Now, granted, obviously, RM's process has turned out to make good music because I literally sat through Boy's album and it was like, what the hell am I hearing? So I do know that it can still provide great music. I just don't like the fact that artists are having to be process driven when making the song. I want you to write your song and just put it out. Like, that's terrible. That's a system.
May 2016. During their epilogue concert, Antis began to use the hashtag plagiarism Boy Scouts. Multiple fandoms teamed up to trend this hashtag in Korea. BTS saw this, and the media latched on. June 2016. During the variety show Flower Crew, Jungkook arrived at the filming location with a bag of hamburgers for his cast members, hoping to break the ice. One of the cast members made rude comments and turned Jungkook's offer away. BTS has since...
Why you talking about little nigga like that? He should just fired off on him one time in the throat. People don't get punched in the stomach or the throat anymore. Like, I'm telling you. Like, what are you talking to me? It feels like it's leftovers. Everybody's burgers in the bag, fool. I got Sprites and Cokes. What are you talking about? What was I supposed to do? Carry them here, not in a bag, on my hands? Like, how does this work? Like, why do you... I feel like in this situation, or just a lot of these situations where it's an elder and a younger person, that elders get to say a lot of shit that logically doesn't make sense. And then I'm just supposed to take that. And I'm just not allowed to be like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You're a grown man of a older age, and you're like, it feels like it's leftovers. Have you not been to a restaurant, sir? Have you not? Do you know what leftovers look like? Who the hell's got leftover 6 burgers in a bag with Sprites and Cokes numerically matching every person that's here for the cast? When did that become leftovers? How? It's just, ridiculousness. Slap that man in the mouth. Stop talking like, what do you, no.
filmed another variety show with the same host, and spirits seem high. September 2016. Antis made yet another project called Break Wings Project to try to sabotage their comeback in October. The project was caught and stopped once comments on YouTube broadcasting the project were put on blast. Wings then went on to sell 16,000 units in its first week, appearing at number 26.
I know I'm talking a lot for this one, but I also have to realize that I've not seen a lot of bad or negative comments in my comment section, because apparently you guys that are ARMY actively are either combating certain poor comments or negative comments in my comment section, or you guys are reporting them in such mass numbers. I don't see them. And I want to say thank you, because I was from a comment. No, it was a message actually I got on Patreon from somebody that was like, yo, this person's doing XYZ thing. We do this in the comments and yada, 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 but look out for it. And I was like, well, I've never seen this person, so I have no idea. And then I just think about it all the time where you guys are like, yo, I hope you don't feel bad about these bad comments. And I'm just like, I've honestly not seen one. Have I seen like comments where people are like, yo, they feel very passionately and they're trying to express that to me? Sure. But have I gotten any like mean comments, honestly, that are just not honestly passionate comments from like ARMY that are like diehard. No, so that's why I'm like, I've not seen any, and this is why I'm like, I appreciate you all. So seeing that you guys like, oh, they're doing this for the Wings project, they're gonna turn into haters, and you guys shut it down. I'm like, that's crazy. You guys are so active.
On the US Billboard 200 chart, setting the then highest record for a K-pop album and making BTS the first and only K-pop act at that time to log 3 entries on the Billboard 200. Because of this, aunties took strategic pictures of non-ARMYs and claimed that there was no line in stores that sold physical albums. October 2016. During the Busan One Asia Festival, fans were told a couple hours before the broadcast that BTS were no longer appearing because one member was absent from an injury, even though a countless number of fans were already present at the event venue and BTS was ready and willing to perform. BTS ended up performing for the fans who attended the event and waited all day, but it was at the end of the event with leftover confetti, no proper lighting, and no cameras rolling. Their performance was not broadcasted and only fan cams were taken.
Respect to these guys for doing that.
October 2016. During BTS's Blood, Sweat and Tears promotion in South Korea, BTS wasn't given a waiting room at the broadcast center. So the members made do and practiced, got dressed, and did makeup in front of the bathrooms. They would practice non-stop without resting, greeting other staffers who were going to the bathroom, and other idol groups would openly look down on them. This comment was left under a video uploaded by Wei, a member from Crayon Pop. Wei responded, "Yes, that's right. All I remember is their hard work and efforts.
Shout out
I
to you, Wei.
especially haven't forgotten RM's voice practicing Japanese." November 2016. V made a heartfelt announcement during their muster that his beloved grandmother had passed away. Auntie saw this as an opportunity to twist his narrative and intentions, sending
Wow. Don't cry, baby. That's ridiculous. Who's doing this? Wow. Oh, these are so mean. This is probably one of the meanest like word things I've seen them have to deal with. Somebody said this about my boy's grandmama. Hey, you know I'm big on we should slap people in the mouth and punch them in the stomach. Slap these people in the mouth, punch them in the stomach. What are you doing? This is terrible. Man opened up about something, and this is how you wanted to twist it? That's crazy. What the fuck?
Saw this as an opportunity to twist his narrative and intentions, sending him death threats and accusing him of using her passing as a ploy for attention. November 2016, Big Hit released a formal statement about taking legal actions regarding malicious rumors, false statements, and personal attacks against BTS. The company continues to pursue legal actions against perpetrators to this day, enforcing a strict no settlement and leniency policy. November 2006.
How does that work? It's a strict no settlement leniency policy. So what is this, like, don't do it no more once we like beat you in court? Because then if we, like, the leniency will be you have to pay all court costs associated with proving that you were making malicious and harmful comments. But the leniency will be just you have to pay the court costs. Because if we have to go back down this road again, what are we going to do? I don't get it. I don't get it, especially because I guess in Korea, you guys actually can be like, it's against the law to say like certain disparaging comments. Like, that's crazy. That's what? As long as it's not libel, I think I'm good in America. I can say whatever the hell I want.
16. Fans of another group were upset that BTS won Album of the Year at the Melon Music Awards, claiming it was done out of charity and that miscalculations were made. They called Melon Customer Care, where an employee explained that the company's internal data proved that BTS scored higher. Audio of the conversation was released.
그거 이제 그 상에 해당하는 앨범들을 해가지고 계산한 게 있는데 그러면은 저희가 보는 거랑 뭐 멜론 내부에서 보는 거랑 그러면은 데이터가 아예 다르다는 소린가요?
아니요, 똑같으시고요. 고객께서 보셨던 거는 차트랑
네.
그리고 스트리밍 그 실시간 앨범 자체가 나오고 나서 순간 차트에 대한 그런 데이터를 아십니까?
그건 아닌 것 같은데.
고객께서 보신 전체 데이터 수치는 아마 보시기 어려우실 거예요. 그 데이터는 로엔에만 갖고 있고요. 고객께서 봤던 정리를 어떤 식으로 진행하셔가지고 어떤 식으로 보신지 모르겠는데 고객님들께서 정리해서 보신 거는 그 차트 반영에 관한 내용들이고요.
네.
그 부분이 아니라 1년 동안 고객님들께서 스트리밍 돌리시고 앨범을 산 그 이용권 말고 많은 대중들이 전체적으로 됐잖아요.
네.
그거에 대한 결과 전체 음원 합산 점수예요. 내부적으로 고객께서 지금 생각하신 게 혹시 내부적 이게 비리가 있는 거 아니냐라고 생각이 드실 수 있는데요.
네.
뭐 제가 말씀드릴 수 있는 부분은 비리 전혀 없으시고요. 방탄이 1년 동안 보다 스트리밍 수가 많이
Who is the band? Stop doing this. Stop. I want to know the information.
받아서 상을 받았다라고 생각하시면 되십니다.
February 2017. BTS were accused of plagiarism after their performance at the Gaon Chart Music Awards. The part in question was when the no signal bars on screen resembled another group's past stage. To make matters worse, the creative director of the group in question created a post on Instagram with the captions, our hard work. And siblings of the group liked that post. Gaon Charts eventually posted an official statement in regards to the accusation, admitting that their own production team was in charge of the graphics, not Big Hit. BTS has not attended or performed at Gaon Chart Music Awards since, only pre-taping acceptance speeches. March 2017. Death threats were made against BTS, with their target being Jimin this time. This threat happened during their world tour, and Big Hit addressed this threat, increasing security around the venues. December 2017. Fans of a different group were so outraged by the results at the 2017 Mnet Asian Music Awards that they filed a petition under the Blue House, the executive office and official residence of the South Korean head of state. They requested MAMA to be abolished because BTS won, crashing the Blue House petition website, which was meant for the South Korean citizens only, with traffic from overseas. May 2018, Jimin once again received death threats, this time during their Love Yourself tour in Fort Worth. Police tweeted soon afterwards that they were investigating the threat. November 2018. On November 7, a South Korean court ordered a Japanese company to compensate them for wartime labor during Japan's colonial rule of the Korean peninsula. The next day, Japan's TV's Asahi's music station announced that they have cancelled BTS's appearance on their show, slated for November 9th, due to a recently resurfaced screenshot of a member wearing a t-shirt depicting a photo of an atomic bomb and of Koreans celebrating their independence from Japan. The band subsequently became attacked by the extreme 2019. During BTS's global press conference for Map of the Soul Persona, a reporter bluntly asked BTS about past plagiarism allegations.
사실 제가 그 윙스하고 피땀 눈물 언급했던 거는 그때 이제 뭐 문제가 됐던 내용 그 뭐 표절인가 그 프랑스 작가분께서 언급하셨던 그 부분을 언급해서 여쭤본 거였고요. 그거에 대해서 그냥 뭐 질문이 좀 불편할 수는 있겠지만 답변을.
See, this is where I take issue with people that are trying to do gotcha journalism. Unless you're doing gotcha journalism with questions that have not been answered in multiple arenas, or at least like how Celeste has provided answers to these 2 or 3 situations of plagiarism, despite not giving me all the context I want, she has played the direct answers or the press releases from Big Hit directly that refute these claims. So to continue to ask this question in a gotcha kind of setup, I feel like it's lazy journalism, because like your journalistic ethics should say that you, as a journalist, have already taken the time to go and find the information and the answers to the questions you're wanting to ask, but you want to be able to report it yourself. And I'm like, that's just lazy. Get a new gotcha or ask questions that are going to be ones that provide better insight or greater insight into these. Just asking plainly, like, well, Wings and XYZ, was that plagiarism? Like, bro, we already have those answers. Like, asking them more so like, well, with Wings, I know you've already answered the question of whether or not it was plagiarism, but do you see how, to the outward public, how that may be perceived as plagiarism? And then leading them with that question, that's another layer to the topic versus, did you steal? Come on now, what are we doing?
좀 듣고 싶은 부분 때문에 질문을 드렸습니다.
네, 그건에 대해서는 저희 회사에서 저희 회사 법무팀에서 작가님이 이야기를 하고 있고요. 저희 의견, 저희 생각도 회사랑 동일하다고 생각을 하고 있습니다.
Talk that shit, sugar.
그건에 대해서는 회사에서 지금 처리를 하고 있기 때문에 뭐 결과가 나오면 알겠죠. 네, 감사합니다.
Netizens later uncovered an article written by a reporter of the same name on another entertainment company's news website. April 2019, SBS Inkigayo excluded BTS's Boy With Love out of its charts for the song's first eligible week. Questions about the criteria used by the music show were raised, while SBS continued to claim the calculation period did not fit with BTS's album release time. To this, Dispatch compared BTS to another group who also released a song on the same day. That group entered the rankings and took its first win for their song that week, while
Cheaters.
BTS were left out of the rankings entirely.
Cheater.
December 2019. JTBC reported that BTS went against their own agency and planned to file a lawsuit against Big Hit Entertainment. Big Hit pulled out receipts and released a lengthy statement on behalf of Big Hit Entertainment, BTS, and the members' families. They called the media company's journalism practices into question.
See, so that's libel right there. Are we not suing those folks and getting paid? Like you were reporting like things that are actually not true and cannot be verified. Like, what is the libel laws in Korea like? Because that's got to be loose right there. I'm winning the case. I'm getting some cheese off of this.
Stating, we have not only the video that JTBC used for the first report, but also the CCTV video that recorded the footage of the journalist breaking into our company. December 2019, MBC is accused of abusing their power to purposely prevent other groups under Big Hit Entertainment from appearing at their year-end show, after BTS chose to appear on the US's NBC New Year's Rockin' Eve countdown in New York City instead of NBC's year-end program. According to Osen, multiple industry sources.
I'm for sure, even though this is another farce of a performance, it is one that it's a feather in the cap. You get to perform in fucking Times Square when the ball drops in New York City. The city where if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Come on now. Like, if I'm like, this is where I'm just like, I hate the posturing that is in the entertainment industry. NBC should know that Times Square, until Times Square turns into some toxic situation, will forever be the stage that every artist in the world would love to do on New Year's Eve. What are we doing here? It's like the Grammys suck, but most artists would love to do a Grammys performance. Like, even if I'm not getting a Grammy, would I love to do a Grammys performance? Goddamn right. Doesn't matter how terrible the voting system is. Like, it's like the posturing here is just ridiculous.
Sources shared ever since October, when BTS's side told NBC that BTS would not be appearing on NBC's year-end music festival, it has been difficult for singers associated with Big Hit Entertainment to appear on NBC. It is already an openly known fact in the industry. January 2020. For 29 years, the Seoul Music Awards only had one grand prize, also known as a daesang. But in 2020, they created a second daesang for digital music. BTS won the daesang for physical music only, even though their stats proved that they should have also gotten the daesang for digital music as well. BTS did not appear in person to accept the award and has only sent in video acceptance speeches since. July 2020, Naver, the Google of South Korea, reportedly invested over $80 million into another entertainment company after losing out on profits from BTS, who chose to hold an online concert through Weverse, a mobile app and web platform developed by Big Hit Entertainment. BTS earned at least $21 million in ticket revenue, according to an analyst at securities firm. He stated, "Naver lost BTS, the most popular IP of K-pop, and must have felt the need to invest in entertainment to form a stable relationship." Since 2017, fans have noticed that South Korean platforms such as Naver and media journalists were ignoring and downplaying BTS's achievements. Popular websites hardly posted anything about them, nor did they feature BTS on their front pages. Music critic Kim Young-dae and popular political commentator Kim Oh-jun recently discussed this issue.
그 뉴스의 크기에 비해서 국내 기사는 상대적으로 적다는 인상을 항상 받았거든. BTS는 그 버금갈 정도의 현상을 지속적으로 만들었는데 거기에 비하자면 아주 수량이 좀 적다. 호들갑 떨기 그렇게 좋아하는 이 미디어들이 왜 이럴까? 궁금증이 평소에 있었거든. 연결되는 이야기예요. 기사들이 일단
BTS의 성공은 이제 어느 정도 보도가 돼요. 그러면 우리가 흔히 알고 있는 소위 대형 기획사의 아이돌이 그것보다 사실은 못 미치는 어떤 활약을 보였을 때 미디어에 보도되는 양이나 그 커버되는 범위를 보시면 확연히 차이가 납니다. 굉장히 좀 재밌는 부분이고, 이번 그래미 같은 경우 어떻게 들어가냐면 주요 부문에서 등극에 실패했다라고 한다든지 여러 가지 유형이 이거 하나가 중요하다고 생각해요. 뭐냐면 BTS라는 이 현상, BTS의 미국에서의 성공, BTS의 세계적인 열풍 자체가 제도권의 시스템을 거치지 않았다는 거예요. 그래서 이 제도권을 점하고 있는 그 언론일 수도 있고 뭐 프로모터일 수도 있고 음반 회사일 수도 있죠. 이 사람들이 보기에 썩 납득이 가지 않고 유쾌하지도 않아요.
자기 힘이 입증이 안 되는 거지. 그렇게 되면.
그렇습니다.
점하고 있는 위치에서
I don't think it's that powers can't be proven. It's more so if you don't come from me, I can't claim credit, which does not help rise my tides. So then my boats begin to sink, or my ability to tell the people after you that are doing things outside of my systems, they begin to use my systems less. It's more so out of fear, I think, is why they do these things. Because if more artists all begin to believe that we really don't need these major label systems. So like when people become super famous, the example I would use in this situation is when BTS got their big fame, they took distribution deals. They didn't take massive record label deals and then sign over massive parts of what BTS is over to these record labels. Whereas when Drake had his opportunity when So Far Gone came out and Cash Money was turning that So Far Gone mixtape into something that would be available in Best Buy and like clearing the samples, that's when he signed his major deal with, or his first major deal with Cash Money, and took a 360 that was 75% to Drake and 25% to all management and record labels. So this is where I'm like at the nexus point of when people become super famous and have that ability. BTS not only got there without any particular traditional media or traditional routes, versus when other people get there, they normally sign up to the machine, and the machine not having that happen with something so massive like BTS is, to me, it's good because it shows people you don't actually have to sign up to the machine. But to them, they're like, well, if enough people understand that you don't have to sign up to the machine, well, then the machine will break. And then I can no longer be predatory and steal money from people. And I'm like, well, I'd love for the machine to break. So I wish more people decide to become super famous and be like, I'm good, cuz I spent all this time doing it myself. I no longer need you. Because that's kind of like what BTS is doing.
자기 영향력이라는 게 있는데 이걸 다 거치지 않고 성공해 버렸으니까 자기 존재 이유가 없어지는 거 아니에요. 그런 맥락에서는
December 2020. For the last few years, BTS has been the face of political discourse on the revisions of South Korea's mandatory military service, even though BTS and their company have not spoken about wanting postponement or exemptions, and have insisted that they will serve when called upon. In August 2018, all major South Korean entertainment companies held a meeting to discuss petitioning the government to revise the law to allow K-pop performers to be exempt from service, in addition to the top artists, musicians, and athletes that already qualify. Big Hit Entertainment was not among the agencies, but BTS was used as the leading example for this revision. On December 22, 2020, the Ministry of National Defense and station maintains that it was just a joke and that folks are too sensitive. During
joking
Zach
about my
Zan's
boys?
show, a member named Liam from
Not
a
like
boy
that, at
band
least.
called Forever in Your Mind made these comments.
I agree that they're a boy band, but at the same time, it's like the rate. I feel like it's like a different, like they belong in a different genre on their own, because I feel like there still needs to be like a European or an American boy band to be at the top, and I think BTS can just live in their own. They're BTS. They don't, you know what I mean? No.
I would like to point out a motherfucker that is not going to be long-term great for the industry. It's that cunt that just said that bullshit right there. An American or European. Who the fuck cares where they come from, cuz? I'm not even just talking about BTS. Let a motherfucker come from Venus, Pluto. I don't care, a far distant galaxy. What that music sound like? Oh, it's amazing. It's a boy band group from another galaxy. It's amazing. Should be at the goddamn top. Who cares what country they come from? You just don't want to have to compete. He's the prime example of why I say in America, if we do not fix what we do to make music and how we are running popular music in America, we are going to be drowned out in the global population of musical artists that are European, Asian, and somewhere else are going to just flood the shores. It's going to be ridiculous. We will not be able to compete.
But they're like
I don't
their
think
fan
that they're
base
gonna.
is so crazy. It's
Dude, and it's global.
Yeah, I'm a fan. They're really good.
I like them. They're good
I
dancers.
can't get behind it. I don't understand what they're saying.
I got it. I got
Hater.
I don't even know what to call them, boys or girls, because I don't know what they are. Look at these people. Look at this one. I don't know which one he is. Look at those highlights. Those chunky Tony and Guy mall salon highlights. And the contact lenses.
Is that a problem that a man has chunky Tony and Guy mall hairlights? Like, who cares, cuz? Man's hair look nice. Your hair looks dry, lady. What are you talking about?
You are an Asian man. You don't need to look like a girl named Ashley.
When I first heard something Korean had exploded in America, I got worried.
I don't know. I think they look very nice.
Come on.
That is not what you were saying during the break.
How did this become a thing in Western culture where all these grown men and little girls are off to little K-pop boys?
I've never seen any program in Chile before, so I don't know.
A senior editor from The Economist said, "Please no," after BTS was announced as speakers at the 75th UN General Assembly. She quickly tried to backtrack, claiming it was a joke. This led to Stephen Pollard, a British journalist, to tweet this, and Anne Hegarty, a television personality, responding with, "All this about a little Korean boy band that's fundamentally not important?" So when BTS was named Entertainer of the Year by Time magazine soon after, RM said, "We're not sure if we've actually earned respect, but one thing is for sure is that people feel like, okay, this is not just some kind of syndrome or phenomenon. These little boys from Korea are doing this." BTS have always been outspoken about the injustice of racial discrimination. In the summer of 2020, they used their platform and proudly announced their support for Black Lives Matter and donated $1 million to the organization. With the recent rise and visibility of atrocities against Asians, BTS released a statement on their Twitter standing in solidarity once again. These are just a few of the countless examples of mistreatment, racism, and xenophobia that BTS has been encountering around the world throughout their storied career. It will more than likely be a continued uphill battle. As artists of color who are constantly breaking records and barriers, amassing fans, and growing in popularity around the globe, hostility and jealousy will come easily from those not afforded the luxury of such a strong and dedicated fan base. As fans who are cognizant of their journey and understand that their popularity comes from their sincerity and talent, ARMYs have a tendency to be protective, and sometimes overly so, if only because of the awareness of what BTS and ARMY are up against when fighting for fair representation.
All right, yeah. I would say there's definitely a lot of hardships that they have definitely had to go through. Cannot deny that at all. I wish I had more context for some of the hardships going through, because just more so I'd like to know all the information, but I did learn a lot. They have been through a whole lot, and I just, again, any of the stuff that I say on here where I'm just like, oh, this isn't that, or, well, maybe it's this, I'm just more so making a critical analysis. I'm not trying to take anything away from these boys, because my thing is, they're already up. Like, for you to try and talk down on them or to make it seem like the achievements they have not happened is just foolish. I just wish framing of certain things were a little bit different, because I feel like sometimes, especially with the lack of understanding outside of the ARMY, because the ARMY is one of the more educated fan bases I've ever ran into, there's just a laissez-faire in which we speak about certain things in the music industry, and I'm just like, I don't like that. And until the collective public begins to know as much as, we'll say, like Army or people that take the time to understand a lot of these things, just saying certain stuff to me, I just take issue with. So that's more so where I come from with any of the things that I say that may come across as to any Army that is disparaging, but it's just more so my informed opinion. But again, I can't say that like, oh, BTS didn't like get a Billboard thing. Like it's a quantifiable fact. It's not objective. It's a subjective matter at that point. Like that's just a stupid point to try and argue versus how we frame the Billboard thing or how we frame any of their accolades, depending on what that accolade is what is more so important to me. So that's where I come from. That being said, though, these people that were just straight up haters, like, why are you moving through life like that? Like, you've got to, like, those are the people that just get, like, stomach cancers and ulcers because they're just holding on to being a hater all their life. Like, why? Enjoy the goddamn ride because we're all going to pass away at some point. I would love to see some phenomena while I'm here right now. So, like, not only do I want BTS to continue to become crazily big, but, like, I would like to continue to see a bunch of other phenomena. Like, where's the next New Zealand phenomena that's coming out of here? Because I'm really rooting for New Zealand to, like, at least give me, like, 2-3 pop stars and, like, 2 rappers. I'm not saying there can't be more, but, like, the talent in the New Zealand area is just ridiculous. Like, you have no idea how good these people make music. If you do, you understand where I'm coming from. Same situation with anybody else. I just want good music. That's all I care about. That being said, I've been super chatty on here. Thank you guys for your time. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If you could, please hit that like, subscribe. Patreon's in the description. See you guys on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.